As we're entering into this new season, fall, what needs to fall behind and what needs to continue? As the leaves die, what needs to die in your life? What needs to be refined, pruned out? And what needs to be carried on and carried through and carried with you into this new season? Welcome back to Get Outside today. My name is Dominic. This is episode 22. We are in the mountains, somewhere in Estes Park. Everything that could have gone wrong today has. But you know what? We are here. We're choosing not to live with regret. Drove up here for the intention of seeing the yellow leaves, and there just hasn't been. God showed up. God showed up, found this little grove in this random hike that I did. My intentions were to go to Rocky Mountain National Park, drove 3 hours through Denver traffic, got to the gate, realized that I had to have a timed entry pass. So I said, what are my options? He said, turn around, you can come back later. So not a lot of yellow trees, got denied at the gate, forgot my lunch. And so I had a little tear in my eye, but I pulled over and I said, you know what? We're gonna find something else. We're gonna find a different hike. God led me here to this moment. I almost turned around and drove all the way home, 3 hours home. But you know what? I just pushed through and I found some beauty. Listen, life throws things at you, but it's how do you react to those things? How do you handle those things? I could have been just so pissed off and just gave up. But you know what? I put in the effort to get here. It hasn't been what I thought it would be. But then I came to a place of, God, what do you have for me? God, what do you have for me today? Even though I wanted to shoot a cinematic video in Rocky Mountain National Park, but God had something else. So here we are. Here we are, Estes Park, on the top of this mountain with these aspen trees behind me. Exactly what I wanted and what I was hoping for. So shout out to God for making it come through, to making it come alive, even though it wasn't how I planned. This word regret has come up a lot lately. Regret. Do you live with regret? What do you regret? If you could change one thing in your life, what would you change? And I think back on my life and I think about even just today. I like to believe that in the present moment I made the best decision I could. So instead of choosing to live with regret, I want to look back and believe, you know what, with the 2 present options, 3, 4, 5 different options, I would like to believe that in that moment I made the best decision I could. Being on the other side of certain things, yes, maybe I would do things differently, but that's where my story is unique, and that's where I can share my story and help other people make better decisions than I have. I was thinking even today, man, I drove 3 hours up here, was patient through all this Denver traffic, got all the way here only to be disappointed. I was angry, I was sad, my tears literally swelled up as I pulled over. I wanted to go home. I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. But I took a moment to just be, to breathe. Okay, there's other options. This was my plan. I came back to God and said, God, what do you have for me today? How can I still experience your beauty in today despite things not going my way? So I took a moment, looked up a different trail, and here we are. I found exactly what I was hoping for and dreaming for this whole week because I didn't just freak out, blow up, and quit. Even when life doesn't go your way, even when things don't go your way. I'm 29 years old. I never would have thought my life would be right here, right now, where I'm at, but I still choose to be present in each moment that I get. Like I said, I like to believe that I made the best decisions at each turning point to lead me here. I have things that I hope that you do better than I do, but I'm so excited to be where I'm at. So if you are disappointed with the life that you are living, if you are disappointed in the place that you are at, you're there. So how are you going to make the most of it? Maybe you're not where you want to be. Things weren't as I wanted to be where I'm at right here today, but I decided to be present in today and make something out of it. I talk about 1% all the time. What is your 1% of growth and moving towards the things maybe you hope and dream for today? Sometimes we spend our lives looking in the rear view mirror with regret, with wondering what if, wondering these what if questions. And we live our life looking through the rear view mirror, and it's hard to get somewhere forward. It's hard to get somewhere down the road driving when you're looking through the rear view mirror. It's time to set our eyes through the front windshield. Set our eyes on the beauty ahead, on the opportunity that lies within each day. 1%. What's your 1% growth in your faith, in your physical health journey, in your career, in your creativity? Every day is a beautiful opportunity for that 1% growth. Instead of asking yourself, what if, how about thank you, thank you, thank you that I am here today and living the beautiful life that I am. God, thank you that I didn't maybe choose something else that might have led me down a different path. You don't know what would have happened down that road. So God, thank you that I'm here. An example of this for me is that God called me to share my story, to start a podcast 4 years ago. He wanted me to start writing. I'm not much of an author, so I decided that I wanted to start a podcast and start an Instagram and sharing stories through there. I started my outdoors Instagram at Dominic Outdoors. That's where the Dominic Outdoors started. And then I started a podcast actually at the time, a small podcast with the girl that I was dating at the time. We recorded a few episodes, but it was just kind of a lot for her. Then obviously we broke up, so then it just ended. It didn't last very long, less than a year. We had a couple episodes. It was definitely more my dream, my calling, and it just ended. And so then from 2021 to then 2024, last year, I just put it aside. And so now that I have started the podcast again, despite being laughed at for it, despite being questioned and a podcast really, despite all those things I started, and then sometimes I find myself looking back, oh, like, well, what if I would have started it 4 years ago and been consistent? Like, where would I have been if I would have just dove deep into TikTok 4 years ago, the podcast 4 years ago, and taken some of these things just more seriously as God was calling me to? Listen, I ignored God for a long time. I come on here, I talk about faith a lot, I talk about pursuing dreams a lot, but I was once in a place where I was pushing those things aside and pursuing my life, pursuing relationships that I wanted to pursue, that I knew I wasn't aligned in. I knew I wasn't, but I wasn't close to God, so I didn't see and hear the warning signs. Stay close to Him. Stay close to Him in your dreams. I promise you, you will live with less regret because He will show you the desires of your heart and the beautiful things that He has for you. Now that I've been closer to Him this last year, this past weekend marks 1 year since starting the podcast. 1 year, over 20 episodes in, I've stayed close to Him this whole time, and the journey has been beautiful. There's been hardly any regret this last year. Yeah, I could have posted more episodes, but life happens. I've had to give myself grace. I've been working on a lot of projects. So instead of living with regret, how about we give ourselves grace for us in the present day, for us in that moment? There were times I took some time off from the podcast because I was just struggling with things. I got laid off. It was winter time, so I wasn't able to get outside and post podcasts outside. I was holding on to the name Get Outside today, so I finally just recorded some inside. Sometimes you have to make do what you have. Even if you can't pursue the dream goal, you can't be at the finish line. Like I've talked about, what is your 1% piece of the pie that you can be present in today, that you can enjoy today? I'm actually pretty proud of the life that I've lived so far through my 20s because I look back and I don't have a lot of regrets because I have gone for the things that I have wanted to do. I haven't let money or other people's opinions get in the way of the things that I've wanted, the big dreams, going out and traveling, starting the podcast, starting my social media pages, starting TikTok. But also, these things happened when I was single, when no one else was distracting me or telling me otherwise. I wasn't always pursuing these things when I was in relationships, the things that God was calling me to. I'd given up on some of these dreams. So one of my probably biggest regrets in my 20s is not being in relationships with people that I was aligned in, that I was aligned with. Find people that champion you in your biggest dreams, that are biggest supporters, that will come along the journey with you and help you record the podcast. They'll stand behind the camera so that you know it's recording and that you know your mic is on. I'm hiring if somebody wants to help me. So living with regret? No thanks. But making the best decisions possible in the current moment? Yes, of course. And if it doesn't turn out the way you wanted to, looking back, that's just life. You live and you learn from it. You share your story with other people. It's less regret and more just, now I have a story to share. Now I have beautiful learning opportunities for other people. If you want to go travel and see the world, you can do it cheap. World Packers. I volunteered at a hostel in Spain for a month, lived in a room with 8 other people, 4 bunk beds, crammed in one room, lived there for a month, met people from all over the world, worked there. Yes, I had work duties, but how fun to be working. And then I lived there for free. Same thing in Colorado Springs. When I moved back to Colorado Springs, didn't have a job or place to live, lived in a hostel, in a closet. Those doors that shift like this, and you walked in, it was just the bed, literally just the bed, nothing else. I haven't let excuses just get in the way of the things I've wanted to pursue. Pursuing TikTok, how silly is that? Talking in front of a camera on TikTok? You should see some of my old videos, how awkward it was, how uncomfortable I was, how tense I was. But you start and you live and you just grow in the present moment when you put yourself out there. Push yourself to the edge and just do it. Like I talked about in one of my early episodes of just jumping off the plane, skydiving. I got to the spot where I was just at the edge and was just pushed off. Stop living in the back of the plane. It's time to push yourself to the edge where the only choice is to jump out. We are moving because the shadows are moving, so we have to move our set. This year has just been a year of epic adventure in just different ways. I always thought epic adventures looked like this. This is my definition of epic, of living an epic life, is this. And it's been less of this, but epic with God, epic in my faith, epic in growth, personal growth, refining, pruning, laying the foundation of things to come. So if you're not living an epic life, what feels epic to you, ask God, God, what is epic to you, God, not me? God, I want your epic, not mine. I've experienced God's epic this year in the most amazing ways. Whatever you feel like God is calling you to, pursue it. Get after it. Stay close to Him and He will show you the desires of your heart. Even when it's hard, I promise you He will come through. There's a reason why you live with regret. There's a reason why you haven't gotten to the things that you truly want and desire. Nothing changes if nothing changes. There's a reason why you are in your current stage of life. So what needs to change? What needs to be pruned? What needs to look different in your life? As we're entering into this new season, fall, what needs to fall behind and what needs to continue? As the leaves die, what needs to die in your life? What needs to be refined, pruned out? And what needs to be carried on and carried through and carried with you into this new season? Let this be a time to reflect on the good, bad, and ugly in your life. There's probably some things in your life that you need to cut out and then make room for other things. Filter these things through your end goals, through your big dream, through what God's calling you to. If they're not adding to this, cut them out to make time for these things that will keep you on this path. As we are entering into fall, what needs to fall behind and what needs to be carried with you? We're done living with regret. God, we are ready for you. Lord, here I am. Send me. Send me into the unknown. Send me into the ups and downs. He sent me out today. I got shut down at the gate. But God, here I still am. If things aren't going your way, you are still here. If things look different to where you're at right now, you are still there. In that moment, at this age, at this relationship status, career status, here you are. Send me. Here I am. Send me as it is, whatever it looks like, through the ups and downs. Help me to be calm. Help me to be patient. Help me to see the big picture. Help me not to quit. Help me to find something else when I'm here. Where else can I look? If one door closes, where else can I look? Rocky Mountain National Park gate closed on me, where else can I look? There's still beauty around. Not your plan, not your religion. God, shake up my religion. Shake up my tradition. Your life is a puzzle. It's been a puzzle. Pieces have been put together as your life has gone on, and it's looked a certain way. It's looking a certain way in front of you. Here it is. I think God wants to shake up your traditions, your life, what it's looked like. He wants to break that puzzle apart, mix it all up, and He wants to put the pieces back together for you. You've put them together so far. It's time to let Him put them together for you, to redefine your life, to redefine the things moving forward. The top of the box shows the puzzle, shows the finished product, shows us things of what it could be one day if all the pieces are in place. God's probably calling you to these things, and he's showing you these things of what could be in your life. These beautiful things, these callings, these desires, these things that make you come alive. That's the top of the box, the picture on the box. So now it's time to open the box and let God put those puzzle pieces together for you so that we're moving towards that beautiful picture on the box. Because if I live life my way, I don't think that puzzle's looking like that at all. Because I'm anxious, I'm distracted, and so sometimes I don't have time for the puzzle. I'm not putting the puzzle pieces back together. Everything is delayed, it's messy. I don't have time because I'm doing my plan. This is God's puzzle. I'm not working on the puzzle. My way, my plan. This is God's puzzle, God's way, his plan. The beautiful picture on the box. And you might not even know what the beautiful picture is on the box. Let him work the puzzle piece by piece, 1% at a time, slowly building, slowly starting to see the pieces come together. Less regret and more, look at that. Here's a story for you. The time when I just went for it, things might not have happened the way I wanted it to, but then look what God had for me. Let him put your puzzle pieces back together. What is falling behind, what is being continued with us. Stay close to him, and it will be better than you think. No, there's no what ifs. It will turn out better than you think with him. Where you're at right now, you're there. You're there. Own it. Be present in it. God, what's my 1%? Where else can I look around to find beauty? Where's maybe a different trail that you want me to go down, that you have things for me down that trail, different views, not my plans, not my trails. God, your trails, your adventure, your mountain peak views, your aspen groves, not mine. Are you willing? Lord, here I am. Send me to experience you and your best, your relationship, not just a Sunday morning, not just the Lord's day. I want every day to be your day, Lord. One whole year of Get Outside today. It's been a year since my first episode. Thank you for the encouragement along the whole journey. From beginning till episode 22, thank you. Your encouragement has pushed me along the way, has kept me motivated to stay consistent. Your testimonies, your feedback, the life that has brought to you, incredible. Truly, thank you, God, for this word of the podcast. Thank you for breaking off the things in my life that weren't leading me to the podcast, to the things that you were calling me to. God told me not to pursue a job, but to pursue the things that he's calling me to. The podcast and my TikTok, it's one of my greatest joys, my greatest passions, sharing my story, inspiring people, loving people, helping you do better than I have, and just sharing relational Jesus, not pushing Christianity, but just Jesus. This past week, the podcast hit over 600 streams. 600 streams this past week, and over 80 followers on Spotify. Thank you so much. Over 5,000 followers on TikTok. I mean, God, thank you. It's time to get out and experience some beauty. Experience new trails, new mountain peaks, new valleys, new journeys. We've lived a new team. Break apart your puzzle. It's time. Because you are so worth the 1% each and every day. As every day, get outside today. 1 year. Moving our set. Hi. Still recording the podcast while we are moving. 1 year of Get Outside today. One whole year of Get Outside today.